My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. And the president has every right to every legal recourse. They want to defund the police, the American dream of socialism. I was born and raised on a farm. I grew up working in the fields. I waitressed my way through school, and I was the first in my family to graduate from college. I worked hard to live the American dream, and the agent of change is my opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, the American dream. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. I don't need a lecturer who has used the Bible to not only justify it, but he's also used the Bible to justify how radical his views are. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock, and President Trump has every right to every legal recourse. Radical ideas of the left, defund the police, radical agenda. They want to defund the police. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. President Trump has every right to use every legal recourse available. They will defund the police. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. And my opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, to live the American dream. I was born and raised on a farm. I grew up working in the fields. I waitressed my way through high school and college. And I was the first in my family to graduate from college, to live the American dream. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, is a socialist. I was blessed to live the American dream. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. I'm not going to be lectured, uses the Bible to justify. Well, the president has the right to pursue every legal recourse in the American dream, socialism, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, and I'm not going to be lectured. I have lived the American dream, working on a farm, from waitressing, being the first in my family to graduate from college, socialism, defunding the police. Their agent of change is radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Defund the police. Radical agenda. They want to take away our guns. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock is their agent of change. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock to defund the police. Defund the police. Defund the police. There's not a racist bone in my body. The American dream. The American dream. The American dream. The American dream. Socialism, the American dream. I was born and raised on a farm. I grew up working in the fields. I have been blessed to live the American dream. And my opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, is his agent of change. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. 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 Radical liberal Raphael Warnock.